I'm Austin Walker, and this is Waypoint Presents. Vice's home for the most exciting stories in gaming. We take you behind the scenes.
You gotta be a little crazy, you know, if you want to be the best.
Into the arena.
Not gonna connect in.
To the heart of why we play. Yankees versus Red Sox. Alien versus Predator. PlayStation versus Xbox. From sports to movies to gaming itself, we all love to get heated up about rivalries. And in the esports world, there's one rivalry that stands above all the rest. Afromu versus Doublelift. The two League of Legends pros used to be teammates and friends, but now they're anything but. It was only a matter of time before the two faced off.
I'm outside the LCS Arena in Santa Monica, and I'm about to witness my first ever professional esports event. Just being here, I realize I'm already in an alternative universe, and I'm excited.
Calling comes out, forced the blast on gate. Not wild enough from the card, so clear. Not gonna connect in. They're gonna turn back on the gate. He's forced to flash. The Ignite's burning on him.
This is like a completely new experience for me.
This is the next generation of athlete, and they arrived seemingly overnight. When it comes to pro sports, it's not always business as usual. Sometimes it gets personal, and that's where things get interesting.
Friendships come and go. My biggest goal is always to win, and people who get in the way of that just really piss me off.
It will be a long-standing rivalry. The drama will probably be around forever.
Ali Frazier, Magic and Bird. Add to that list Doublelift and Afromu. Across every sport we've ever conceived, bad blood between its brightest stars has pushed the game itself to the next level. And now, at the frontier of professional sports, that eternal drama carries on. Even if the equipment has changed. Esports exploded in the early 2000s when South Korea established the first ever professional gaming teams. And with a strong foothold in Asia, the craze spread west. In 2009, industry giant Riot Games created what would become the most popular game in all of esports, League of Legends. A descendant of Warcraft 3, this fantasy game pits teams of 5 against each other in a brutal contest of skill and strategy. It's cultivated a massive fan base, logging 100 million players each month. And by 2015, League's World Championship came with a $2 million purse and recorded higher viewership than the NBA Finals. Now, with unparalleled momentum towards mainstream success, the industry's already converted iconic sports figures into devout fans and investors.
The last time that I interviewed Rick Fox, he was a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. I was a sideline reporter. Now I'm going to interview him as team owner of Echo Fox in League of Legends. That's weird.
Check us out. Here you go, Echo Fox. All right. This is our League of Legends team. So they're right now in solo queue. Solo queue is where they individually work on champions that they aren't proficient at. I've only had visions of wanting to be an NBA owner. But now here I am as an eSport franchise owner. I went to Madison Square Garden, and that's sold out for 2 days.
Gentlemen, the finals, Madison Square Garden. It feels good.
In that very same arena was John Skipper, the head of ESPN. And I also ran into NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Didn't take much math on my part to go, there's something going on here.
It's a trip that you say that because this whole time, I can't help but feel like I'm transported back to the mid to late 90s in the explosion of action sports.
Which you had everything to do with.
But I remember when people were like, that's not a thing. And then it exploded.
And here we have a generation of kids, man, that are now stepping into it. They're having professional careers. When I talk to another athlete, I know if I'm talking to another professional athlete. I just know the best that are legendary that I've seen in any field, here up is what separates the legends.
Release the bottom side, guys. Release right now.
If you look at a lot of the greatest players, it's just their sheer drive to spend countless hours playing and getting better. I would argue the players are practicing and spending more time and working harder than traditional sports athletes.
Travis Gafford covers professional gaming for Yahoo's esports division, one of the pioneering journalists in a new space and a new industry.
You wake up, you have breakfast, you play League of Legends, you have lunch, you play League of Legends, you have dinner, you play League of Legends. That sort of grind over the course of the season all comes together whenever they're standing on stage in a 20,000 person arena and having everyone cheer for them.
In League of Legends, the fans are fanatical. And within this new universe, two teams have inspired more devotion than any others. Team Solo Mid and Counter Logic Gaming.
To me, it seems like a classic sports rivalry as a guy who loves sports.
It is. TSM CLG is definitively the greatest rivalry in League of Legends and much broader probably across all of esports.
But today, the oldest rivalry in the game has been rebooted through a beef between its biggest stars. Before they were enemies, Doublelift and Afromoo were teammates. More than that, they were a legendary duo. If Doublelift was Kobe, then Afromoo was Shaq. And together, they led CLG to a North American championship in 2015.
You know, there's been times in my career where even I don't believe in myself, and it was these guys. It was these guys who made me keep going and believed in me, so I love you guys.
But in an unexpected turn of events, Doublelift was fired from the team in the offseason, sending shockwaves through the league. Overnight, Doublelift, one of the greatest individual players in the game, became a free agent. And it didn't take long for him to choose his next team.
Doublelift moving to TSM, which happened at the end of last year, maybe the single greatest and biggest roster change in League of Legends history.
What was his contribution to that?
I think Doublelift consistently felt frustrated that the team was not performing to his own personal level. That led to a lot of friction between him and Afro. Two guys that wrestled with being great friends out of the game, but ultimately just seemed to be incompatible in the game.
1 year on from the breakup that rocked the league, Afromoo and Doublelift will retake the stage at different tables. Leading a roster of all-stars, Doublelift and TSM have gone on a rampage. So far, undefeated in the 2016 summer splits, now placing Afromoo and CLG squarely in their sights.
We're in suburbia, about an hour outside of Los Angeles. Really nice houses, families. This house is different though. This is the Team CLG house. This is where Afromoo, the star of CLG's League of Legends team, does his thing.
The average pro gamer is 22 years old. Many retire by 25. So for these young athletes, structure is a good thing. Traditional workouts aren't just encouraged, they're routine. A chef is on staff to serve 5 meals a day. Because if there's one goal behind the Team House concept, it's distraction-free, full-focus training.
This is amazing. I mean, this is what practice looks like at the highest level.
Push him in, buzz bot. Go up. Okay.
In League of Legends, 2 squads of 5 fight against each other to take down the other team's nexus. And to succeed, it requires total synergy between the players. It's like a collective game of chess, only 10 times faster.
Okay, I'm gonna let's go. Yeah, hold me. Thumb me. Rek'Sai could be bottom. I just play down right now. Bottom, Rek'Sai's bottom. You guys can just play up right now. We'll go to Jay's lane. Jay, play safe. They're all there. Okay, Rek'Sai. Go. What did I say? I don't know. We need to take this safest path possible to get to the tower. So Darshan came with me. We came here.
At 23 years old, Afromoo is the undisputed face of CLG. In game, he plays support. He's the shot caller, the quarterback.
How long have you been pro now?
4.5 years, something like that.
What still drives you at this point?
I love seeing my teammates succeed, and I'm always looking for better ways to play. My stream sessions usually when I go home, it's like 24 to 36 hours straight,
Straight.
Straight.
Like,
Didn't stop.
straight. Like,
Yeah, didn't
no
stop.
breaks.
No breaks.
What the is that norms?
No. You gotta be a little crazy, you know, if you want to be the best.
Good morning. So I noticed a lot of you went to bed a little like early or on time yesterday. I just wanted to make sure that you guys let me know when you start to feel tired at night excessively. We're kind of like pushing the edge of what we can focus on in a day right now, and I want to make sure that we're getting all the way up to the edge of our overtraining and kind of like even going a little bit beyond that, because what we want to do from now until playoffs is
Order Chinese food.
Oh, I did.
because what we want to do from now until playoffs is maximize every single day. And that means that we're going to be trying.
I was CLG. I was their face. I was their brand.
You were basically the franchise player,
Yeah.
and they kicked you.
Yeah.
Doublelift found instant fame at a young age, making a meteoric rise from gaming obscurity to CLG's star AD carry with a brash and aggressive style of play. But with fame comes controversy.
Everything was just awesome. It was like my first big break in being a pro. They'll say that I was like a really toxic player. After 4 years, I think our relationship deteriorated to a point where like it was really hard for us to work with each other, and that I was bad for the team environment. I became really disillusioned because these guys that I'd looked up to, they argued a lot, they slacked off a lot. I have like pretty high expectations for myself, and I tend to carry those to my teammates. So if they're not putting in 100%, then I will call them out on it. I had a dynamic duo with Afremu. For 2 years, we were just undoubtedly the best. Like, we were so dominant. I made up the nickname Rush Hour because I was Jackie Chan and he was Chris Tucker.
What happened?
He's very oppressive, I would say, when he criticizes somebody. It just wasn't working out for the whole team chemistry-wise. Me, I wanted to change. Voiced that to my CEO.
How hard a decision was that for you to do that? I mean,
It was probably one of the toughest decisions of my life, doing that.
I just really, really want to beat them. I want to get like that little extra revenge against CLG.
You know Afremu's tendencies. You know them like the back of your hand.
I know everything that he's going to do before he does it.
Anything you can tell your teammates to help beat him and them, it's all out there.
Of course.
And he's going to do the same thing to you.
I'd feel insulted if he didn't. He should do that to beat me. It's a war.
I think he was 4. Yeah, so he was 4 or so, and I put him on the PC. Yeah, we gamed together in a lot of games for a lot of years. None of you guys play.
Are you playing on hardcore right now?
No.
Oh, is this?
I never play hardcore. At first, I wasn't on board with the whole esports thing. I didn't know it would, turn into an industry of itself. He saw it before I did, so we struggled with that for the longest time, didn't we?
That was fun.
Afro channels his emotions into the game. Because before it became a profession, it was an escape.
My wife got cancer, and I got laid off. We ended up staying with my grandma and saving money. So we lived in a bad neighborhood. I was never in a gang or anything like that or dealing with drugs, but I still got shot at on 5 different occasions, being in the wrong spot. When we lived there, they couldn't go out the yard.
All I did was play video games. That's it. Couldn't do anything else.
But we got through it.
I guess my story is really common, which is, I grew up as a nerd. I had this really big problem with my Asian parents who just didn't ever understand that gaming was like a thing that people do and it's okay to do, for fun. They just only ever cared about my grades. I felt like online I could be a different person and escape reality. That was way more fun than real life because, I was getting bullied at school and I was like getting beat up by my parents and stuff like that. Like, it was not very fun. And so I just started playing a ton of games. Now it's a cool thing. Now those kids who were super mean to me message me on like Facebook or Twitter or something like, oh, do you remember me? Dude, let's catch up. Dude, like the good old days. And I'm like, there was no good old days.
Wow, so they hit you up now? They want
Yeah,
to be
of course,
down.
because I'm famous and rich, and they're not.
His transformation from Peter Pang to doublelift invokes the classic pro gamer narrative, an outsider who found a community.
When I first got onto the scene, I had a really polarizing personality. I think a lot of people hated me because it came off as like arrogant or cocky or whatever, but I just thought it was funny.
We both had big personalities, egos, I would say a little bit back in the day when we were at the pinnacle. So I would say it helped us bring out the best in each other.
I always thought Afro was cool. I never realized that he had like a big problem with me because he's very non-confrontational and I'm very confrontational. I guess he had problems with me that he like let build up. But then I learned that he advocated that I get kicked off the team.
Opinion, this iteration of the CLG roster is just infinitely better. Mindset is a lot better. Everyone is willing to accept criticism and there's no really like people feeling afraid to have a voice on the team, I would say.
Everyone else is trash right here on the show.
Everyone else is trash. Peter brings people down more often than not.
Esports is springing up in a post-Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope world where everybody has their phone and can just share out to however many millions of people at any given point in time. And you just don't really see that anywhere else. You don't see that in any other entertainment industry right now. And so all this stuff really just fed even more fuel to the fire.
In League of Legends, each season of play is divided into 2 splits, spring and summer, where 10 North American teams battle each other for the chance to go to Worlds.
We are inside the sold-out arena for our marquee matchup, and you can feel a real energy inside here. TSM 9-0, undefeated. CLG defending champs, off to a slow start. Can they make the comeback here against their arch rival? This is big time.
You know the history about this match. 2 of the first teams ever created. It is the oldest League of Legends rivalry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hey! You almost didn't get to all. You have to remember as well the chains. It's a bit squishier. 1 for 1 now, doing as much damage before he goes down. And it's going to be Darshan to finish this one off. Monster almost 2v1. Here comes Afro Move. Fight. Oh, hoo-hee! Emperor's Divide, 1 turret shot for Bjergsen. He's got to figure out which is the right one. Has chosen correctly. They're going to get the lockdown. Custom blows to hit. Bjergsen gets away with 2 passive shots left. It's now into Afro, and they quickly make a turn. Turret double it, puts the spell shield on. Can he be taken down? Down on Darshan, so no more damage comes through. What an outplay from Hanser and a lead for Bjergsen's kill.
Yep, that is going to go from bad to worse for CLG.
That's 2 CLG members down as they try to attack mid lane. Oh, no. That TP's down, too, so he's got a long walk to wherever he goes. Xmithy tries to right the wrong and puts himself in a bad spot. Now TSM get 2 and top turret.
It's one of those games where you start to feel like TSM have more members than CLG playing the game.
It almost seems like that, doesn't it?
But it's because of the teamwork. Coordinated plays back-to-back from TSM. CLG now on the chase.
A sub-30-minute game. TSM are going to stay undefeated in the North American LCS as they take down Counter Logic Gaming.
Like in life, breakups leave a mark. And no matter how much smack gets talked or how many wins are counted, that feeling lasts. But for the world of pro gaming, that sting is a good thing. A rivalry this elemental, a beef this deep, transcends the E for what this really is: sports.
I grew a lot through playing with him, and I'm sure he grew a lot through playing with me, so I'm like really grateful to have that opportunity.
It was like we were stuck together, like super cool.
I moved on from CLG, but I'm not like salty or sad that this is how things turned out. I'm actually really happy with where I am now.
That was Waypoint Presents. Tune in next week to check out the magic behind the world's biggest collectible card game and some of the die-hard fans who play it.